The biggest mistake social media tells you need to be doing that is actually hurting your reselling business, right? 160 items, you have more items available, you're selling more items, but you're making less money. What's up, y'all? It is your girl, Sarah from Sarah's Styles here. In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you guys the number one thing that social media, YouTube, Instagram continues to tell us that you need to be doing to make more money, why it's simply not true, and what you can be doing instead. So stay tuned. All right, so if you are on social media, how do I make more money? What do I need to do to make more money? The number one thing that you're going to see is list more items. List. You need to have more items. You need to have a bigger store. And I'm going to show you why this simply is not true. And that starts with the golden formula for resellers. Before you stop, and I know this looks scary, I am going to break this down for you. I have increased my business, 1,000% over the pandemic, working less hours, and I am making $10,000 gross revenue a month simply by following this formula. Your sell-through rate is simply how many items that you're selling out of how many items that you have for sale. If you have 50 items for sale and you have sold all 50 of them, you have 100% sell-through rate. And then your average sale price. On average, how much are your items selling for? Also, average sale price is referred to as ASP sometimes. Sell-through rate I refer to as ST sometimes, but they're really just simple metrics to really understand how things are doing and feed into the golden formula. So now that we understand sell-through rate and your average sale price, the only other variable that you have that goes into how much money that you have, how much money that you make, your gross revenue, is your active listings. So your sell-through rate, your active listings, and your average sell price. If you increase one of those, your gross revenue goes up, right? That's how math works. You have an equal signs and one side goes up, the other side goes up. So yes, you can increase your active listings, and this is what social media tells you. If you have more active listings, you're going to make more gross revenue. But I'm going to show you the flaw in this and then show you how you guys can make sure that you are actually making more money. All right, so up here, like I said, golden formula for resellers. I will link some videos for this down below as well, because I do use it for the basis of most of my videos, definitely my business. And then if you want even more in depth, I do have 2 courses that really go in depth into how to use this to make more money. So you have your sell-through rate, your active listings, and your average sale price. So down here you can see I have my sell-through rate, my active listings, my average sale price, and this is telling me my gross revenue. So for example, one will say, hey, you start at 20% sell-through rate for the month. That means you're selling 20% of the items that you have available. You have 600 items for sale. Your average sale price is $20. That means that you are making $2,400. And you say, hey, Sarah, I'm watching this video. I want to make more money. How do I make more money? If you're selling more gross, you also want to consider your net profit. And this is one of the reasons that there's a flaw in, hey, just have more active listings. Because if you are having more active listings, you're also putting more money into your store, which means if you're not selling more, you're actually just spending more money and not making more money doing this. So $2 cost of goods, that means your net profit is now $2,160. Example number 2, let's get into what happens if you increase your store size. So say, hey, I'm going to sell 800 more items. Sell-through rate stays the same. What happens when you get into this mindset of, hey, I'm going to just list more, I'm going to put more stuff into my store or my closet if you're on Poshmark, what happens here is your quality tends to suffer. If you are at the bins, you're thrifting, you are however you source, and you say, hey, I just need to source 200, I need to list 200 more items this month, it's going to start to get a little sloppy. And what happens with that is your average sale price is going to go down. You're going to just be buying things to get more items into your store and not necessarily things that are selling as high as you normally sell. So you can see your average sale price, it could decrease to $10. And I'm saying this because I have done this. I'm saying this because I see this happen with people all the time. I just need to buy more stuff. So I'm going to go thrifting. I normally buy 50 items. I'm going to buy 100 items. Well, if you are buying 50 more items than you normally buy, those are 50 items you would have normally left behind because they probably don't sell as high as you normally would want them to sell. You're now just in the mindset of, I just need more stuff in my store. That's how I'm going to make more money. And you can see what happens here. So your sell-through rate, let's say you're staying consistent and you're still able to keep that 20% sell-through rate. You've increased 200 items. Social media says, hey, you have 200 more items available. You should be making more money. But look at this. You're selling not as good of items. Your average sale price has gone down $10. Your gross revenue has gone down. And look, you are selling more items, right? 160 items. You have more items available. You're selling more items, but you're making less money. And so simply saying, hey, I'm going to put more items into my store, you have to be cognizant of all of the pieces of this puzzle. And then you come over here as well, and this is the issue with just putting more items into your inventory. You're selling more items. You're also spending more money. And so your net profit is almost half of what it was when you were only having 600 items in your store. And then the other thing that tends to happen when you do this model and you don't pay attention to these metrics, to your sell-through rate, to your average sale price, is your sell-through rate is likely going to suffer. If you are listing more items, if you're listing items that aren't as good of quality, you're likely not going to be selling as much of them. Your sell-through rate, you're going to be selling less. So your sell-through rate is going down in this model. Your average sale price is going down in this model. So yes, hey, I've listed 200 more items. I am selling about the same as I was selling before because my average sale price has gone down. I'm making half of the amount of money that I was making when I had 600 items simply because I'm selling items that aren't as good a quality and I am not being able to sell as many of them. And this is the problem that resellers run into. You actually are not making more money. And what gets even worse about this is you're spending more money. So here is the issue with saying, I just need to sell more items. If simply adding more items is not the answer. Having more items with the same sell-through rate, with the same average sale price can be a successful model, but you have to pay attention to those things. Before I show you guys the solution, if you like this kind of content, how to make money reselling, strategies that are going to work for everybody, they are based on math and numbers. And so whether you sell 5 items a month or you sell 20,000 items a month, these strategies are going to work for you. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and give me a like. All right, so what is the solution? So in order to make sure that you are continuing to make more money, you have to pay attention to your average sale price and your sell-through rate. Simply adding more items and even saying, in one of those examples, you were selling more items, but you were still making less money because you weren't listing the quality of items that you were listing prior. Your average sale price will say that. Continuing to look at your sell-through rate will tell you, hey, are these selling at the same rate? And if they're not, you can make minor tweaks here and there to continue to increase your gross revenue. So you can see down here in the solution, we have the example from above. I have added this available. So your items that you have available are this $12,000. This is in Poshmark and eBay. You can see you're available. Keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on your average sale price and keep an eye on your sell-through rate. If you simply say, hey, I am going to make sure my sell-through rate stays consistent, make sure that my average sale price stays consistent, I don't have to list a zillion more items to make a little bit more money. I can simply say, hey, 650 items. I'm going to list 50 more items. I can find 50 more of the similar type items that I'm selling. I know that they're going to sell at the same sell-through rate. I know that they're going to sell at the same average sale price. My available money available listed is gone up, and so has my gross. And the awesome thing about this as well is your net profit is going to increase because you're not just buying inventory that is going to sit and be stale. You're going to be buying things that are actually selling. Listing items to list items is not going to just make you more money. Having a bigger store just for the sake of having a bigger store oftentimes leads to just having more stale inventory, spending more money to actually make less money. If you liked this video, do make sure to give it a thumbs up. YouTube thinks that you will like this video. I will put a playlist here of more data analytics. I will also link the golden formula for resellers, a couple videos that I have that go a little bit more in depth into that, as well as the courses. I have 2 courses that go really in depth into how I use this to make $10,000 a month reselling in only working 15 hours, including social media, 15 to 20 hours a week to make $10,000 a month, and I base everything off of this formula.